But picture this. A new patient books with your practice. They're nervous. First visit, new provider, not sure what to expect. They show up 5 minutes early and sit down in the waiting room, and a staff member slides a clipboard across the counter with 7 pages of paper forms. They fill them all out by hand. They wait. Nobody greets them by name. Nobody explains what's about to happen. The provider finally walks in, glances at the chart, and the visit begins. That patient who spent real effort choosing your practice has already formed their first impression, and it wasn't the clinical care that shaped it. It was everything that happened before the visit even started. Today, I want to show you how to flip that experience entirely and build an intake process that wows patients before they ever sit down in your examination room. Here's what most practices don't realize about the intake process. Patients don't evaluate your clinical skill in the waiting room. They evaluate how organized you are, how much you care, and whether choosing you was the right decision. In the standard intake process, paper forms, waiting room silence, a front desk that's too busy to offer a genuine welcome, communicates something specific. It communicates that you're a transactional healthcare provider. Show up, get processed, go home. What it doesn't communicate is warmth, preparedness, the sense that this practice actually thought about you before you even arrived. The practices that retain patients at the highest rate share one thing in common. They treat the pre-arrival experience as part of the clinical experience. They understand that wow moments don't start at the exam table. They start the moment the booking is even confirmed. And building that experience doesn't require any more staff, it requires a system. I know of a dermatologist who was genuinely baffled by her patient reviews. Her clinical outcomes were excellent. Her Google rating was solid at 4.2 stars, but when she read the 1 and 2-star reviews carefully, a pattern emerged that had nothing to do with the care itself. Waited too long to fill out paperwork. Didn't feel like anyone who knew who I was when I walked in. First visit felt rushed and impersonal. She was losing patients and receiving negative reviews, not because of anything that happened in the exam room, but because of how patients felt in the 20 minutes before they ever saw her. Now she needed to have her entire pre-arrival process rebuilt. Digital forms sent at booking, a 60-second personal welcome video from her delivered the day before the appointment, a preparation brief, a personalized morning of arrival note, and a one-line briefing card so that the front desk could greet every patient by name the moment they walked in. And within 90 days, her average review score climbed from 4.2 to 4.8. Her new patient no-show rate dropped by 31%. And patients started leaving reviews, specifically mentioning how welcomed and prepared they felt before the visit even started. The visit didn't fail. The experience before the visit did. And once we fixed that, everything else followed. Now, here's exactly how the patient experience unfolds and where first impressions are actually formed. From the moment a patient books through the moment they walk through your door, every single touch point in this window is shaping their perception of your practice. The entire stretch, from booking through arrival, is what I might call the pre-arrival wow zone. Every touch point here lands before the provider says a single word. And right now, in most practices, this zone is completely unmanaged. Standard intake forms on a clipboard. Await, a patient who feels just like a number. Wow intake, digital forms in advance, a personal welcome, a patient who feels like a VIP before the visit even begins. You only get one chance at a first impression, and most practices waste it, but you don't have to. Here are the 5 touch points that can transform a standard intake into an experience that patients will talk about. Touch point number 1 is digital intake forms sent at the time of booking. Paperless, mobile-friendly forms that go out the moment a patient books. No clipboard, no waiting room scramble. The patient arrives having already completed the intake, and your clinical team has the information they need before the visit even starts. Touch point number 2, personal welcome video sent the day before the visit. This is the one that surprises most and produces the biggest reaction. A 60-second video from the provider, which you recorded just once, delivered automatically to every new patient the day before their first visit. Hi, Jim. I'm Dr. Jones. I'm looking forward to meeting you tomorrow. That's it. Just 60 seconds, and patients arrive having already met their doctor. The anxiety is gone before they even walk in. Touch point number 3, preparation brief sent 48 hours before with parking instructions, what to bring, how long the visit will probably take, and what to expect. Every logistical question answered before it becomes a source of stress. This single touch point reduces no-shows and late arrivals more reliably than any reminder call. Touch point number 4, personalized arrival note sent the morning of the visit. A brief, warm message addressed to the patient by name. We're ready for you, Jim. See you at 10 a.m. 3 sentences, automated, and it makes the patient feel like your entire team has been thinking about them. Finally, touch point number 5, a staff briefing card prepared 15 minutes before the visit. A one-lined internal note so that your front desk knows exactly who's going to be walking in. Their name, reason for the visit, any concerns flagged on the intake form. When a patient hears, "Hi, Jim, we've been expecting you," instead of "Jim," that's the moment the wow lands in person. 5 touch points, 0 extra staff time, and entirely automated. I wanted to reframe something before we close. Most practice owners think about patient retention as a clinical problem. Am I delivering good enough care to keep people coming back? And clinical quality absolutely matters. But the research is consistent that patients leave practices not necessarily because of a clinical failure, but because of an experiential failure. They felt rushed. They felt ignored. They felt like they were only a transaction. The pre-arrival intake process is the first chapter of the patient experience. And when that first chapter is warm, organized, personal, and intentional, patients walk into the exam room already trusting you. That trust makes the clinical relationship easier. It makes retention higher, and it makes your Google reviews write themselves. The wow doesn't require more staff. It requires a system that runs automatically and shows every patient before they ever arrive that you were really thinking about them. Now, if you would like some help designing and automating this intake process system for your practice, the forms, the welcome video, email sequences, staff briefing workflow, and make it so it's all running inside your platform so that it doesn't require adding any time to your team's work, that's the kind of thing that I can help you with. We take just 20 to 30 minutes for us to discuss what your specific needs are and how I can be of service, I'd love to take the opportunity. It's a no pressure, no obligation time that we can talk about what you need and how we can get the job done. My name is Kurt Landreth. If you'd like to connect with me, you can see my phone number there, email address, or even make a specific time for your appointment on the calendar. I look forward to talking with you soon.